Good afternoon. If we could have everybody take their seats, please. I know the irony is I'm trying to tell people to do something. It's usually the other way around. That's why no one's listening. All right, well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for coming. This is the first annual South County Fire Recognition Awards ceremony that we're having. We're here to recognize members of our organization from last year, 2023. And with that, we're going to get the show on the road. Would everybody please stand for the presentation of colors of the South County Honor Guard? If you'd please remain standing for the invocation by Chaplain Bob Westlander.
Thank you, Greg. We welcome you today to this event to share this time together, not trying to suppress a fire, extricate a victim, resuscitate a patient, or mitigate a hazard, but to celebrate some accomplishments and to express appreciation for contributions that have helped us to work together better for the good of families and individuals in our community, and to express our gratitude for the friendships we have found through these times. Please join with me as we invite God's presence and blessing on our time together. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to be together with family and friends. We thank you for all that you've designed for togetherness, the bonding of souls and spirits to give us a sense of satisfaction in sharing life together, serving in common experiences with mutual ambitions, affections, and all the aspects of life which constitute our relationships in what we value most. We recognize many challenges in providing first responder help and safe environments. Today, we also recognize many cries for help for the soul's need for a safe environment for healthy relationships, where mental, social, emotional, and spiritual bonding can provide a secure sense of worth and belonging. We see a need for stability in these relationships when all the world around us is constantly changing. The days are long, often too long, demanding energy we too often reach out and borrow from our tomorrows. Yet the years are short, too short. They too quickly consume our yesterdays, our lives, into which we once thought we could pack so much more. So today we want to just pause, to give thanks, and to recognize actions and relationships that have gone beyond self-centered, self-serving interests. Thank you for these friends, for their devotion to duty, helping hands, caring contributions, and for their roles in recharging us with encouraging energy when we felt tired and empty, perhaps even discouraged or depressed. Thank you, Lord, for addressing all of our needs through the friendship we can experience in an intimate relationship with you through the gift of your Son who gave his life for us, and through the abiding presence of your Holy Spirit living in us for all of time and eternity. For you who intimately knows and understands, who willingly cares and is able to fulfill with satisfaction all our needs as we navigate this life, we give thanks. Thank you for your personal interest in each one here today. Help us to recognize your blessings, receive your love, and enjoy your friendship as we walk this path together. Now we ask your blessing on this time in the name of Christ our Savior. Amen.
You guys can be seated. I get to follow that. That's fun. Welcome. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Greg Rudiger. I'm a captain with South County Fire, and I'm also a member of our recognition committee. I'd like to first recognize some of our elected official, South County Fire Board of Commissioners Chair Jim Kinney. You can stand, please, sir. Thank you. Commissioner Chan and Commissioner Fahrenhoff. At this time, I'd like to recognize and have come to the stage, please, newly retired and well-deserved, our former Fire Chief, Thad Hovis. And our newly appointed and well-deserved current Fire Chief, Bob Eastman. Oh, that's perfect. You guys stand over there. They got to see you guys. I've been all over the country, and I don't know if you got two more stylish fire chiefs than we got standing up here on the stage right now, so we win for the best-looking fire department, that's for sure. A little history of what's going on. Established in 2019, South County Fire's Recognition Award program was really, we got it off the ground and running. It honors the service above and beyond the call of duty, both for line personnel and for our civilian staff. The commitment amongst us to exemplifying the values that South County Fire has, both on duty, off duty, on days, at headquarters, and on the line. When appropriate, we try to honor these people who have done such an excellent job on duty, off duty, and in the support of everything that we're doing. I'm extremely proud to stand here today because this is a labor of love for many of us. This is something that has been a very personal mission for me, that we recognize those who are here. So for those of you who have recognized people, for those of you to be here in support of those people, and for those of you who are being honored, I say thank you. The way this is going to work, because I'm the MC, they decided to give me the microphone. It's probably going to get a little weird at times and emotional. That's what it's supposed to be because we're real, okay? I'm going to introduce what the award is, what the criteria is, so that you have a background and understanding of truly what this person did. We'll introduce that person as they make their way to the stage. After your applause, I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit of a bio as to why they were recognized. They'll be taking a picture with the chief up here, and then afterwards, at the conclusion of the ceremony, all the award recipients will be outside to take pictures with our wonderful PIO department. How's the lighting? Good? Okay. Let them know if your agent needs to sign a release. That's what I tell Leslie so she stops taking pictures of me. Okay? That's how it's going to run. So I hope you just enjoy this. And please, 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 we're going to recognize them at the end. But a huge thanks to former Fire Chief Thad Hovis and to current Fire Chief Bob Eastman and all the administrative staff for the belief in this process and realizing that our people do matter. So with that, we're going to get the festivities underway. All right. So special unit citation. Our special unit citation is going to be presented to all the chaplains of Support 7. The special unit citation is presented to all members of a company or group operating together who performs meritorious service at the scene of an emergency. The standard of this award is high, and it can or cannot include all members of the department. I'm going to be calling them up in order, just so you guys all understand what Support 7 does and what the chaplains do. They are the rock for us. They are the rock for the community in the times of people's deepest hurt, darkest times, fires, the loss of a loved one, the loss of a home, or not even knowing where to turn. And sometimes for those of us on the streets, we don't know what to do, and they're our savior as they come to our rescue. There are heroes to help us navigate those times, to make people feel safe, to give them an answer or a shoulder to cry on. We're extremely happy to have the Support 7 chaplain group, and with that, we'd like them to come up. I'm going to try and do this alphabetically. Oops. You got the next one, Steve. So the first one, if you guys could come up, please. Jeff Baird, Steve Francis, Adam Jensen, Josie Jones, Mason Justison, Kent Landrum, Kevin McDonald, Robert Doc Mitchell, Mike Riley, Debbie Rosenfeld, Bob Westlander, and of course, we couldn't do it without Shannon Sessions. Give them a round of applause. All right, I got the IT screw up out of the way early. Okay, Stretch, you're still here. Good. Next award's Community Service Award. This recognizes a member of the agency or a member of the community who has made an outstanding contribution to fire and life safety through education, public relations, public service, and brings credit upon the agency and the community. I don't know anybody who exemplifies this better than Stretch. Steve Francis is a legend. It was like pulling teeth to get Steve to retire. We hated to see him go, and of course he retires, and I think the first day he's retired, he's like, well, no one signed up to do the chaplain thing, so I guess I'll go on call. Steve's also stepped up, and he's been extremely instrumental as we've launched a retiree peer support program. Steve is one of the leaders of that and one of the first members of the retiree peer support group also. He's always there, always on call, and that's why he's got the nickname Legend. Our next recipient, Winnie Neal, she's the Volunteer of the Year. This is awarded to a volunteer who best exemplifies desirable qualities, including service to the public, assistance to fellow workers, assumption of extra responsibilities, and dedicated to the agencies and its goals. Winnie started as a volunteer with the Linwood Fire Department in 2016. She worked the front lobby taking blood pressures. And rumor on the street is people came back just to get their blood pressure checked, just so they could say hi to her. She continues to volunteer even with the merger. She's done a lot of events. She does the admin, tedious work. What? Okay, let's go this way. Did you guys tell her not to let me talk on the microphone anymore? Like I said, she continues to do that, and her bright and sunny attitude continues to shine in all the public events that she does. I don't know what the Civilian Employee of the Year is Lori Norton, and we dub her the nicest lady in the whole wide world because she truly is. She's probably not going to be the nicest lady in the whole wide world on Monday morning when she yells at us for giving this award, but that's okay. She's the first face you see when you walk into the office. She's the first person that most of us who got hired walked in the door, and she was there to greet you. She always asks, "How are you?" and she means it. She's out there making us in the Health and Safety Division look bad. She's out motoring around the parking lot. She's always there to ask how you are, to ask what she can do. I've never a cross word, never a sad face on her. She truly is the nicest lady in the whole world. Lori Norton. The next up is the Distinguished Service Award. It's presented to Captain Larry Winterer, who is not here unless he snuck in the back door. Distinguished Service, an individual who performs a highly unusual act of distinction under adverse conditions and performance of duty. He's been nominated for his ongoing leadership on duty in distinguishment of service with his crew, in training, being a role model for others to follow. Larry can't be here today, but we're going to get him his award on duty. Larry Winterer. The next award is Meritorious Service. The reason I'm not clicking the button yet is we have 4 award winners for this. It's presented to individuals whose actions have a significant impact on the agency and meet one or more of the following criteria. A member who exemplifies the core values of integrity, humility, compassion, trust, and family. Submission of a program or method that increases efficiency in administrative or tactical procedures and is subsequently adopted by the fire chief. Special dedication to the service of the members of Local 1828. The first award recipient for this is Maria Blanco. For those of you who don't know Maria, she works in finance. When we were short personnel, Maria stepped up not only to learn the new payroll system, but actually increased it, made some tweaks, made it far more efficient, and actually was able to make sure we all got paid on time, which is probably pretty important. So. And she just got engaged, so congratulations. Next up is Hetty Levinsky. Hetty in HR is the backbone of HR. When we did not have a director for a period of time, Hetty stepped up, kept the ship afloat, ran it with dignity, ran it with compassion, and truly has helped shape our human resources department into just that. It's a human resource department. She's become one of my good friends, and I'm very thankful for her for everything that she does. Hetty Levinsky. Mean Gene Smith. Gino. Gene has worked his way up from paramedic through captain to MSO. Truly his dedication to the educational field in EMS is second to none. He revamped and revitalized the whole CBT program, which no one's gonna lie and say they like going to CBT. Okay? Gene made it fun. Everybody got excited when it was OB time to see if Gene was gonna be screaming in his position of giving birth, which was always entertaining. Gene also, okay, all right. No, I don't.
I'm glad that wasn't up there.
I did, but he made sure. No, I'm just the reason HR exists. I'm not going to put it up on the board. He also is instrumental in our high-performance trauma management and our high-performance CPR, and part of the reason we're the best at what we do is because of Gene Smith. So thank you, Gino. I'm turning over the microphone.
Greg's doing a good job. I'll tell you right now, I talk more than he does, so be prepared. So if I can find, Greg, you might have to help me out with the sheets. You're awesome.
I'm usually a better secretary for Hudson.
Yeah, perfect. It's a pleasure to present this award today to someone who has meant so much to our department over the years. And it's especially humbling for me to be able to do this for someone that's meant so much to me personally and has now meant so much to our department, to go through all the ranks of this agency and now to turn over the reins to him as our fire chief. Last year was not an easy year for me, and this person stepped up to take over the department as our acting fire chief in a tough time. He got through about a 4-month period, really not only taking care of everyone in the organization, which is the most important thing, but also reaching back and taking care of me. And that's something that he's been known for, whether you knew it or not, through all the years, 28 years he's been with our department. But he really cares about people, and he really cares about us. And I'm proud of him as a friend, I'm proud of him as a fire chief, and I'm proud to present him this Meritorious Service Award for his contributions in 2023. And I kept it together, so good. All right. Congratulations, Chief Bob Eastman.
He'll be back. Our next award is the Rookie of the Year, and it goes to Brooke Trammell. Rookie of the Year is a member of an agency with less than 2 years at South County Fire that demonstrates and characterizes the best attributes of being a firefighter, EMT, paramedic, and exemplifies the future of the agency. I had the honor of having Brooke on probation on ladder 14 in her last house, and she was absolutely phenomenal. I wish we could duplicate what she did and what she meant to us and our crew, coming in with experience, being humble, being a leader. Most importantly, we had the worst day in the fire service in my career when we had one of our own collapse. Brooke was right there, and without hesitation, she assumed care when I had to do the stupid captain stuff with the radio. She took over the rest of it, and she was running it, she was leading it, and to her credit, she made a difference that day as she did every day. So Rookie of the Year, Brooke Trammell. Our Firefighter of the Year is not here today. Firefighter is chosen by fellow members and who characterizes the best attributes of being a firefighter. It's Riley Oakes. Riley Oakes was nominated by his captain, TJ Kowalski, and his battalion chief, Dave Riddell, for his outstanding contributions in the fire station, being a young guy who leads in the fire station. He's humble. He steps up with all the challenges. Having the honor and privilege to work with him and have training classes with him, he truly exemplifies what a firefighter should be here at South County Fire, and we'll be giving him his award on Monday. So TJ, we're coming to see you. EMS Provider of the Year. This provider is chosen by their fellow members who characterizes the best attributes of being an EMT or a paramedic, and I cannot tell you how honored it is to give this to Danny Hill. Danny's leadership on scene, in training, she's stepped up. She does a lot of our EMS training. She's taken on a lot of other leadership roles in the organization. She leads by example. She takes those of us who are non-paramedics, especially in the captain role, trying to make decisions, and sometimes steers us in the right direction. She's very good at that, and she has the respect and trust of all her peers, and I always loved running calls with Danny. So Danny Hill. Okay. These next awards carry a little bit more significance in their meaning and the fact that they're not given every year. These are not awards that are handed out every year. So these are pretty special, and we're honored that for our first ever award ceremony that we are lucky enough to have these individuals that we can recognize. The first one is a life-saving award, and it goes to Steve Walsh. Steve was nominated by his battalion chief, Jason Blatchley. Steve was acting captain on Engine 21. He was responding to a Med-X. As they were responding, there was an individual sitting on the bridge attempting to commit suicide. Steve had the wherewithal to recognize the situation, pull over, notify dispatch, and redirect units to go to the Med-X while he stopped, was able to establish rapport with that individual, keep the scene safe until law enforcement arrived, and then controlled the law enforcement officers to help him because he had the rapport and the trust with that individual. Steve was able to get the person to come down off the railing and was safely transported to the hospital. Steve saved that young man's life. I'm turning over the microphone again.
It's real humbling to recognize this exceptional person who's getting this award next. She's had unwavering dedication to our organization and it's helped shape it. She's been a continuous presence in our department's ever-changing landscape, a career marked by her professionalism, her adaptability, and her commitment to our mission. Since joining our organization in 1997, she's played an integral role in 3 different agency consolidations where her foresight and collaborative spirit proved invaluable. She was at the forefront during the formation of our RFA and has been part of every ballot measure the past 25 years. She's been consistent in front of the camera, behind the camera, and has highlighted what's very important, talking about the amazing work our people do every day. Her oversight of our communications has directly impacted our agency's sustainability and the safety of the communities we serve. And throughout these challenges, and I know this firsthand, she's always remained caring, kind, and welcoming. I consider myself incredibly lucky to have worked with her directly the past 4 years as your fire chief. And as she plans to retire later this year, it's with immense pride that I present the Lifetime Achievement Award to Communications Director Leslie Hines. I get to present one more Lifetime Achievement Award to another very deserving nominee. He was hired in 1993. He promoted to rescue technician along the way and promoted to lieutenant and then captain. He contributed to the success of our rescue teams and to our ladder trucks. And in 2019, he promoted to battalion chief while I was deputy chief of ops and really flourished, finishing out his career in our training division. He's done too much to get onto one page in the right font for me to be able to actually see it with my older eyes. But a big thing that he has done has been instrumental in developing our officer candidate school to better support the development of our current and future leaders. Unquestionably, his passion of the fire service for the past 30 years has left a lasting impression on our department, but I'll say that's to our region and our state and even nationally. Since he recently promoted again to a great rank, and that's retiree, I want to wish him a happy and healthy retirement. Please join me in a round of applause for Battalion Chief Steve Ness and his Lifetime Achievement Award.
Okay. Following Thad's hard enough. This next award, these are probably once or twice in a career awards. A Medal of Valor and a Medal of Courage are not taken lightly. They're designed for acts of bravery by an individual who voluntarily assumes significant personal risk in hazardous circumstances, demonstrating exceptional skill, personal initiative while attempting to rescue another. While off duty is a Medal of Courage. I have the distinct honor, he's going to kill me, especially with his giant ET fingers, to present it to one of my best friends. I got hired with him. He told me the story, and I couldn't think of a better and more deserving person to receive the first ever Medal of Courage than Corey Palmer. Palmer's sitting in my van. I don't know where we're going, probably to eat because I'm with Palmer. And he's telling me about, dude, look at this video. And he shows me this video, and I'm like, okay, like, what is that? Like, it looked like something gnarly. It was a semi wiping out a minivan on a highway cam. He proceeds to tell me that, oh, on the other side, that's his minivan that stopped. I'm like, okay, it's Palmer. Yeah, you stopped. Gets out. This is in Minnesota. Okay, I don't know Minnesota, but where he's at is it's out there. It's a 2-lane highway. He tells me he's with his family, and he stops, sees the accident, calls 911. Then he gets out and goes and he checks the semi-driver. Semi-driver's fine. Then he goes to the minivan. Minivan's against a semi. I'm sure you can all guess, right? Didn't fare so well. Palmer not only takes the initiative to call 911, but because he's that smart and he has the wherewithal, he orders up an airship because he knows that they're probably going to need to be transported. We're not in Western Washington. They're not going to run to Harborview. He knows this. He orders the airship. Then he proceeds to check on her, get everything going, and he tries to extricate the patient. Well, the door won't open. He gets it open. That's just what Palmer does. He gets it open. While this is happening, and this is all confirmed, the car does catch on fire. He tells the state trooper on scene to grab the extinguisher to extinguish the fire. Corey's exact words to me were, well, the extinguisher didn't do much, and she's still trapped, so I didn't know what I was going to do except lay my body across hers until the fire department got there. Now, you got to understand, Corey Palmer. He used those hands and his heart, and he bent the damn brake pedal out of the way, and he rescued the lady out of a burning car. And then he carries her to the life flight that's waiting. And she's transported before the fire department ever gets on scene. The lady's alive and well today because of this wonderful, wonderful human being that I'm very pleased to call one of my best friends. Medal of Courage to Corey Palmer. I know. I'm turning it over again. Because again, like I said, these don't happen every year and they don't happen often.
That's a tough act to follow. Corey, great job. Amazing. It's my privilege to present this year's Fire Chiefs Award to firefighter paramedic Steve Varden. Last year, when firefighter paramedic Paul Cretella faced a serious medical emergency, Steve stepped up. He stepped up big. He showed tireless compassion and support for a coworker and his family in their greatest time of need. He began to visit Paul at the hospital, serving as our liaison to our department, and was an unwavering medical advocate for Paul and for his family. For weeks, Steve helped ensure that Paul received the care and support that he needed, and he even used his vacation time when he couldn't be there on a day he was going to work. During Paul's most challenging days in the intensive care unit, when there was real doubt that he would recover from his illness, Steve's swift action was pivotal. He identified a systemic infection that hospital staff had missed and gone untreated. That night, Steve displayed both his medical knowledge and his commitment to saving lives, which exemplifies the spirit of our profession. Paul and his wife, Clarissa, shared with me that they are certain Paul would not be here today if it wasn't for Steve's actions. His dedication and service to the Cortella family and to our department are admirable. Please join me in a round of applause for firefighter paramedic Steve Varden and the Fire Chiefs Award.
The thing about these events is it just doesn't get any easier the later into the program you go. This is from everybody, for everything. It's Thad Hovis. So like you like to do at helmet ceremonies, come on over. Wait a minute, get rid of that side. You're not going anywhere. Stick around. You stay right here. The honor that I have to present a helmet to Chief Thad Hovis is beyond words. I'm humbled. I'm honored to be in this position and to have the responsibility for the organization to recognize you. It's not often that I'm without words, but when it comes to you, I had a hard time. You've worked your way up through the ranks, through the union, through the local leadership. You're always 7 steps ahead of everybody operationally, tactically, politically. You're always ahead of it. Where you've never been ahead of it is when it comes to people. You've always been right here. You're grounded. People is what matters. This fire department took a major step forward because of the man you are and the leader that you are in setting us up for success. As Thad likes to do with his steel trap, every time he does a helmet ceremony, he likes to tell them everything that they told him the first time that they met. So I got to meet Thad the first time on my journey through the fire departments. I was the acting local president at another fire department, and I went to a meeting at District 4, and I walked in, and I'm like, who is this chiseled, tan, good-looking guy sitting over here? This is supposed to be Washington. To which we immediately engaged in banter and conversation, and we hit it off immediately. And one day, after I had broken a drill bit off in my arm, I went down to Station 13, and they told me that they were hiring laterals, and my first phone call was to Thad Hovis. And I'll never forget him telling me, we'd love to have you, but you're going to have to ride on a PAU for a year probably. He was always honest. He was always straightforward. This is where I wanted to be because of people like Thad. He never forgets your name. He doesn't forget your first interaction. He knows your family. It amazes me the helmet ceremonies I go to. He remembers everything of that person's interview, what they said, what their impact was. Thad has truly been a people's chief. He has been for us. He's exemplified the core values. I've had 9 fire chiefs. You by far are the best, not because you've been my friend, but because you've led, and we've had the challenging conversations when I was an acting captain. I know you do. To have the humility, to have the hard conversations back, to lead by example through love and grace and humility. We're sad to see you go. You've left us in excellent hands, and you've laid the groundwork for this organization, that people matter. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what we do on the streets or what we do at headquarters. What matters is the people. And that's all Thad's ever cared about. It's my great honor, and it's my great privilege to thank you for all of your years of service. And like you gave me my red helmet, I give you your white one.
I whisper in people's ear quite a bit when they graduate from the fire academy for the first time, or if they're being promoted, just to share something special with them. When Kendra and I got married a few years ago, we did our vows that way because it means so much to tell somebody how much you love them. So I'm going to try not to talk too much like I normally do and cry myself, but I do love the people. I do love this organization. I'll miss you all, and hope to be around enough to see you more in the days forward. But special thank you to Greg for saying all those kind things about me. And what I whispered in his ear is, I'm so glad you came to this organization. So glad I could be part of that. And I love you, and you're my brother forever, right? And if I had time, I'd hug the rest of you and probably tell you the same thing, brother or sister. So anyway, thank you so much for the kind gift, and appreciate you. So thank you.
And as any good presenter would, I'm going to get you out ahead of time so you can have cake and not tie you up on a Saturday. First off, we would love to thank the Community Life Center Northwest for donating this space today. They have been outstanding in their support of our organization, in the community's organizations such as Support 7, in helping us to make this dream a reality and to have it hosted here, to have their people come in and volunteer their time on Saturday is beyond words, especially if you're Susan and you have to deal with, trying to get prices and what people want to charge these days for a space for a bunch of us to give each other awards is ridiculous. So thank you very much to I want to thank the South County Honor Guard for being here for their presentation of colors, Chaplain Bob Westlander, South County Fire IT. Most importantly, I want to thank the recognition committee. I almost said the cake lady, but she's second most important, because there are 4 cakes out there that are they're good for your soul and bad for your waistline, so eat them up. They're probably like 47 pounds each. I want to thank the recognition committee, and when I call your name, will you please stand, and please hold your applause till the end, and then we'll applause for everybody. Chief Todd Anderson, Melissa Beard, Melissa Blankenship, Chris Bothwell, Shawnery Guzman, Chief Joe Hughes, Leslie Hines, and the backbone for all of it to keep us going is Susan Bjorling. If you would stand up, please. the time and the energy that they have put into making this a reality, I almost feel bad, right? It's like a fire, right? It was like 15 minutes of fun and then 3 hours of cleanup. I did it in 56 minutes, and now we got like 2 hours of setup. That's just how it goes. The time and the effort that they've put into this to make this a reality, especially, they've all done an outstanding job, but we would be remiss without singling out Susan for her unwavering dedication in making all of our ceremonies what they are, for working so close with both retired Chief Hovis and Chief Eastman in allowing this to be here. The support we have of the organization is second to none. So thank you, Susan, and for all of the recognition committee for all of your work that you've done. For you that honored people and you recognize people, thank you. We don't just pull this out of thin air. See, HR, I didn't say what I was going to say. Okay? Close. Okay? These come from you. Take the time to recognize each other. There's a lot of good stuff going on. There's a lot of good stuff going on the streets. There's a lot of good stuff going on in all of our departments across the organization. Take the time to send in this submission. There's value in it. There's value to the organization. There's value to the individuals. This is what it's all about, to get here, to recognize those who don't want to be recognized, who truly do deserve to be recognized, and I'm sure there's more out there. With that being said, the organization and local have gone in, and this is the first one, and we're honored. Next year, we're going big. South County Pipes and Drums Ball, nah, we're going to do it right. South County Fireball, Recognition Award Banquet and Ball. It's going to be on March 3rd, 2025, and Susan's already secured the Tulalip Casino. We have rooms blocked. This is our event for our people. We're that big. We're that good. That's what we have, and that's what we want, and that's what we need. So get those submissions in, get your tickets, and I need you guys to book your rooms because I promised Chris Bothwell, the finance director, that we would cover the 30 rooms. So I can get more. Okay, let's cover the 30 rooms. That's all I'm going to ask. Oh, is it 40 now? Yes. Okay, it's fantastic. Lastly, I just want to say thank you all for coming. To the families here, thank you for your support of those who are here. To everybody in the administrative building, to the on-duty crews, to everybody out there, thank you for your tireless commitment to serving others and to serving each other. And remember, stay healthy, stay happy, stay rad. Have a great night.